Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, whoa.
That's the target.
Yeah. 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 Какого?
Что там?
Я нашел следы вторжения! Будьте...
Я не хочу
Spit it out.
умирать!
Where are the others? Hands up. Where are you from?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Нет, не делай этого!
Where are the others?
You gonna extract him? I'm sorry, boss, but the extraction failed. The support unit just isn't skilled enough. If you want to increase the success rate of Fulton extractions in bad weather, you need to improve the support unit.
Yeah.
Roger.
А? Не видно! Враг атакует! Внимание всем! Вот тут!
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Hands up.
Подожди, не стреляй!
Speak. Where are your friends? Hands up.
Стреляй!
Speak. Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. This is Pequot. Looks like that fall killed him. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Yeah.
КП-104! Стрельба!
Yeah.
Позиция стрелка неизвестна! Прием!
Yeah.
Это КП, понял. Всем подразделениям. У нас могут быть нарушители. Конец связи.
Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Get.
Враг атакует! Внимание всем постам!
Cover fire. In hot.
Штаб! Штаб! Обнаружен неустановленный вражеский боец! Атакуем! Прием! Штурмовой вертолет! Туда! Открыть огонь! Занял позицию!
This is Pequot. No targets remaining. Ending attack run and we'll stand by at LZ. Golden Crescent. It's a type of medicinal plant. We can use that to make tranquilizer rounds more potent. Pequot, have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by. Transmit a request from your iDroid and I'll send supplies right away.
Я не хочу умирать!
Speak. Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Gaining altitude. Departing. Prolonged time in the field is bad for the body and mind. I think it's time you took a break. Do it for me. Come back to Mother Base ASAP.
Didi, come back!
Vince.
Here's the dog you brought back. Bit of a troublemaker. Not sure about the breed, though.
He'll get bigger?
Uh-huh. Like this. You know, I can look after him. He's still a pup, so he doesn't listen. I have a feeling someday he'll be useful. I suspect you discovered a real diamond in the rough. With a little polish, I say we got a true diamond dog on our hands.
DD, right? Hostile at raising hounds. Fine.
Come on, Didi. Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your iDroid. You see Wandi on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is, we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first priority. Got your binoculars? Or should I say, your int scope? See the village? Straight ahead? All right, that's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village, the Violo Calais. The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back. Since then, it's become a base for the Soviets' 40th Army. A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dawandehar. You may be able to pick up the trail there. It's worth a shot. Put a marker on it so you don't lose track of where it is. Good. Now you won't have to worry about getting lost along the way. You can't have...
Even the sheerest cliffs are climbable if there are cracks you can use as handholds. You might even find some unexpected routes that way. Keep an eye out for cracks on your travels. Hold it. There's a Soviet guard post. There are bound to be guards. Take a look with your binoculars. Put the enemy in the center of your field of view. That's marking. Focus on the thread and it'll be marked automatically. You can mark enemies and vehicles by zooming in with your binoculars or camera. Once they're marked, you'll also see their positions on the map. Security at that guard post is relatively light. Looks like the perfect place for a warm-up. Try to remember the ways you used to deal with enemies. Anytime you need advice, just give me a call. There should be a command post somewhere. See any buildings with tighter security? If there are clues to Miller's whereabouts, I'll bet you can find them in there. Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight.
Чего? Нет, не делай этого.
Talk. Where are your friends? Where are your friends?
Got him. Anyone else? A parabolic antenna. There could be intel files of some kind in there.
Каков? Как ты? Ты в порядке? Нет, не делай этого.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
Нет, не делай этого.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Got him. Anyone else? That's a type of medicinal plant. Bring it back to base. It's sure to be useful sometime.
Я не хочу умирать!
Where are your friends?
All right, we'll bring him out.
Я не хочу умирать!
Where are the others?
Those materials are already processed. They should come in handy sooner. That's a rough diamond. Good find. It'll fetch a high price. So you picked up an intel file. Now we know where Miller is. I'm marking it on your iDroid. Boss, taking the scenic route? That's not the way to Wande. Check its location on your iDroid. It's an enemy guard post. Watch yourself. That's tarragon, a type of medicinal plant. It contains trace amounts of a benzodiazepine, active ingredient in pentazemin. SWAT Sin Barracks. Heavier enemy presence than back at Violo Village. Sun's down already. It goes without saying that darkness is good for infiltration. But your vision will be affected just the same. Keep your guard up, or who knows when you'll bump into an enemy. A Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
Hey!
suppressor's no longer effective. Bear in mind, your weapon will be loud from now on.
Штаб, штаб, это КП. Понадеялся огонь. Открыли огонь в ответ, но потеряли врага. Франкфурт все еще прячется поблизости. Запускайте штаб. Прием.
You've reached one day. They've got Miller locked up in that town. Check your iDroid for his location. I hope to hell he's all right. He's not your average client.
Hands up. Speak.
All right, we'll bring him out.
КП, это Зоя-2. У нас враг. Источник неизвестен. Прием. Это КП, понял. Все единицы. Будьте бдительны и найдите нарушителей. Конец связи.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Враг!
Всем боевым группам, это КП. Мы вступили в зону.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Cover fire. In hot.
На 5 часов!
That's the building, boss. That's where they're holding Miller. Target acquired. In hot.
КП, это Зоя-1. У нас большие потери. Нужен резерв, немедленно.
In hot. Watch out, boss.
Всем пошел. Это командир. Внешняя радиосвязь. Мы не можем попасть под прицеление своих аванпостов. Окопайтесь и удержите позиции своими силами. Конец связи.
B-Quad is in hot. Find cover. In hot. Watch out, boss. This is B-Quad. No targets remaining. Ending attack run and we'll stand by at LZ. You've secured the target. I'll send the chopper to get you out. Make your way to the RV. You check the location on your iDroid. Well, this is P-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
All right. Put Miller in. Gaining altitude. boss. As requested, we've added an analyzer function to your binoculars. Now you can view soldiers or POWs and get a readout on their rank or any special skills they might have. Depending on their skills, they may even be able to develop new types of weapons or items. Try it out the next time you're thinking of Fultoning someone. Target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago Calais and eliminate the target. At the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Враг атакует! Внимание всем! За мной! Нашел парень. В чем? Сюда! Проваливай!
Talk. Where are your friends?
не хочу умирать!
Where are you? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Where are you? He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him. That's a medicinal plant called Haoma, otherwise known as Soma. People use it to make a sacred drink for religious ceremonies. Is that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets. Okay, that was target confirmed dead. Impressive work, boss. Roger. That's it. You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss. Mission complete. Great work. When you're not on a mission, use that free time wisely. Surveying enemy outposts, for example, or gathering manpower and resources. Of course, even you need some downtime every now and then. Whatever you do, it's all another step on the road to our goal. Yeah. forces must know something about the targets. After you grab or hold up an enemy, try interrogating them. Material. It could be just what we need to develop new weapons and equipment.
Прием! Это КП, понял. Немедленно проверить. Искать альтернативную сводку. Конец связи.
Перебрался на меня! Двигайтесь!
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful. Roger. squad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by. Preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal. Gaining altitude. You need to disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility. 2. Roger that.
Speak. Where are your friends?
We know where to find the target. Check your iDroid.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. You made it. That radio transmitter is used to relay messages between outposts. Take it out and the mission's complete. Explosives should take care of them well enough. How you do it is up to you.
Yeah.
Extract him. So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Всем боевым группам, это КП. Мы вступили в схватку с противником. Всем боевым единицам приготовиться к бою.
Looks like the enemy's lost sight of you. They're gonna try to hunt you down.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own. You'll need to treat it with first aid.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You gonna extract him?
Yeah. Yeah. talk. Where are the others?
You gotta extract him. All information shared between outposts passes through that radio transmitter. With it gone, their local comms network will be out of action.
Heads up. Now, this is Beak. Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that. extract him.
Не, делай этого!
Antenna is one of the targets. There should be more. That's another one of the targets. Do you see any more? That looks like the target. We know where all the antennas are now. Take out all three of them. How you do it is your call. We have the locations of all the targets. Destroy either the radio transmitter or all the antennas to shut down communications between the enemy outposts. It's all up to you, boss.
The best weapons for destroying the targets will be explosives, things like grenades or C4. With grenades, you can take them out from a distance, but you won't be able to destroy multiple targets at once. C4, on the other hand, is remotely operated, so you can...
Good. That's the first one. Destroy the remaining antennas. Nice. That's the second one. That wasn't the last of them, though. Keep going. Your objective. Now get out of the hot zone. You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost. Good. You've completed the objective. Now get out of there. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land.
Yeah.
Destroy the targets. Any method will do. All information shared between outposts passes through that radio transmitter. Explosives should take care of them well enough. How you do it is up to you. Good work. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone. It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost. Roger.
Yeah.
That antenna is one of the targets. There should be more. Keep looking. That's another one of the targets. Do you see any more? That looks like the target. We know where all the antennas are now. Take out all three of them. How you do it is your call. We have the locations of all the targets. Destroy either the radio transmitter or all the antennas to shut down communications between the enemy outposts. It's all up to you, boss. All information shared between outposts passes through that radio transmitter. Explosives should take care of them well enough. How you do it is up to you. Good work. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone. One of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
squad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B squad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude. Departing.
Mission complete. Great work. Our army is growing like crazy thanks to you, boss. In fact, it's getting downright crowded around here. To bring a greater number of people on board, we'll need to expand our facilities. To that end, I've created a base development unit. It has two roles, material refinement and platform construction. I'll start with the material refinement part. The base development unit procures material resources on a regular basis according to its level. The materials are stored in containers and placed on the deck of Mother Base. Once they're finished being processed, they can finally be put to use. By using these materials to build new platforms, we'll be able to add a greater number of staff to our ranks. We don't need any specific instructions from you to refine the materials, but I want you to be the one to decide how we construct platforms. Once we have sufficient GMP and the required material resources, you can issue construction orders from your iDroid. Boss, we've received a back-channel request from Langley. We're to find a piece of new American military hardware that's gone missing in the mountains of Afghanistan. It's a difficult mission, but I'd say you're back in top form by now. Check your iDroid for the details.
Christmas Eve, 1979. The Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims had revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene. The Afghan government was powerless and fraught with infighting. They lost the hearts and minds of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic revivalism. A superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over in an instant, only it wasn't. Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on all fronts. A war of attrition. These fighters call themselves Mujahideen. They're being supported by the West through Pakistan. That's why Miller was involved. He was training them near the Zero Line, sponsored by the CIA. The war has become a nightmare for the Soviet troops stationed here. They thought they'd be headed home in 6 months at the most. Then a year passed. 2 years. Now here we are 4 years on with no exit in sight. Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam. The Soviet troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs. The Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan. If the Mujahideen are fish swimming around the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off before being left to die at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation. And the cycle of vengeance goes on. This war, the Kremlin never expected to have this much trouble against the Mujahideen. Afghanistan is a tribal society. Tradition demands that its people stand up to any outsiders who set foot on their land. With the honor of their people at stake, they have everything to fight for. No matter how hard the Soviets hit them, they continue to appear out of nowhere, striking back, then vanishing again. But there's one thing even the Mujahideen fear. Every last one of them. The Soviet gunships. They're highly maneuverable and equipped with massive firepower. Plus, the underside of the fuselage is heavily armored. The Mujahideen can barely scratch them with their small arms. Anyone who hangs around gets mowed down by the gunship's heavy machine guns. This new honeybee weapon that was given to the Hamid fighters, it's no doubt something to help them strike back against the gunships, which makes it a weapon that could change the course of the war. Those guerrilla fighters known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is a multi-ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, and each of them is split into their own tribes, large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad, but that doesn't mean they work like a single standing army. Just look at the area around Smasy Fort. A lot of Tajiks used to live there, but they fled after the Soviets started their Scorched Earth campaign. With the area uninhabited, the Hamid fighters, who are Pashtun, decided to move in. The Hamids are based out of the city of Peshawar. We passed through it on the western edge of Pakistan. The Pashtun people have long lived in Afghanistan and western Pakistan. They used to travel back and forth frequently. Then Britain went and established the border that still stands today. The Hamid fighters get generous support from the Pakistani government. The government wants to use them to secure influence over Afghanistan. Their liaison with the Hamids is Inter-Services Intelligence, and behind the ISI, you have the CIA. That's probably how the honeybee ended up in the hands of the Hamid men.
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in the mist? You knew something about them.
That wasn't my first run-in with them. It happened right before I was captured by the Soviets. We were on the zero line that day, the Afghan side, on our way back from training the Mujahideen at a mountain camp in Kunar province. There's a lot of that work in Afghanistan. Most PFs shy away from it because it draws too much attention. But for us, that was the whole point. The job itself went great. We just had to make it back to a tribal area in Pakistan. But all of a sudden, visibility got real bad. It was no sandstorm. Our point man gave the strange report. He said he could see skulls in the mist.
Skulls?
The next moment, he went silent. We scrambled into formation, right before his arms and legs came raining down on us.
It was always supposed to be a dangerous mission, so I had Diamond Dog's very best with me. We were calling out to each other. But one by one, their voices just went dead. Whatever happened to me, I lost consciousness before I knew it. When I came to, I was in a Soviet camp, tied to an interrogation chair.
Could they be some new Spetsnaz unit?
No. The ones that interrogated me were just the average rank and file. Whatever group attacked us, the way they moved was just insane. And that mist, appearing out of nowhere. The Soviets don't have tech like that.
If they did, Ocelot would have heard about it.
I doubt the West does either. Otherwise the folks at Langley would be sleeping a lot easier.
Why'd they come after you?
Wish I knew. I'm the only one who survived. Though I don't think they planned it that way. If I was their target, they wouldn't have just handed me over to the 40th Army. Whatever the case, we need to watch our step until we know who they really are. And boss, if you ever do run into them again, don't try to take them on. You just get the hell out of there. When I first started dealing with Zero, with Cypher, it was a somewhat parasitic relationship. Though, a mutually beneficial one. Cypher had no army of their own, so they wanted us. They wanted our strength. They approached me as a potential business partner.
But they had other motives.
Cypher coaxed us into Central America, into that U.S.-Soviet...
The Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Wak Sin barracks. You need to find him and get him out. He tried to defect from the base camp up north, but it didn't work out. Now they're holding him at Wak Sin. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee his safety. You have to extract the target.
Your target just happens to be the man who developed your prosthetic hand, and is the only one capable of maintaining it. If we bring him in, I'm sure he'll be able to modify it in all kinds of ways as well.
Be careful down there, boss.
Somewhere inside that outpost. The Soviets consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Where are your friends?
Great. I've updated the info on your iDroid. Take a look. I hope he's all right. You gotta extract him.
beak. Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
Prisoner doesn't look like the target. Okay, subject is in.
Всем боевым группам, это КП. Большинство села Редлам. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверить их питание.
Find the target in the Waksin barracks and get him out alive.
Hands up. Spit it out. Where are the others?
Нет, не делай этого!
Talk. Where are your friends?
Нет, не делай этого!
Talk. Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Boss, you've entered a building. Always keep an escape route in mind when you head indoors. If you get surrounded, you'll have nowhere to run.
Нет, не делай этого!
Speak. Where are your friends?
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Это КП, понял. Немедленно все осмотрите. Конец связи.
Is that him? That's the target.
Прогресс. Я его сделал. Это мой шедевр.
Now that's some lateral thinking. Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss. Target extraction confirmed. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Roger.
Arriving shortly at LZ. Speedquad! On station at LZ! Cover fire! In hot!
Boss, leave the intel files till later. The enemy's on combat alert.
Target acquired! In hot! This is Speedquad. No targets remaining. Ending attack. And we'll stand. This is Speedquad. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
engineer we rescued has been extremely cooperative. The guys on the R&D team are glad to have him aboard. Thing is, his specialty isn't mechanics, but something called bionics, engineering based on biology. He's already submitted a proposal for modifying your prosthetic arm. If you're interested, go ahead and give the development order.
The new Mother Base started out as a test drilling rig operated by a mineral resources supplier, but their project fell through. The Seychelles government was happy to hand the place over to us. It was just scrap on stilts. So with a few dummy construction companies set up as fronts, we started renovating the half-finished rig. From the outside, it looked like the project was back on rails.
Kaz, you...
What?
I see what you're doing. Recreating the Mother Base we had 9 years ago. Only this time.
That's right. The Mother Base Cypher thought they destroyed will return from the grave to kill them. We'll prove to the world that we were the victors.
And if we lose again?
They can't fool us the same way twice. Now our enemies are in plain sight. And when our organization gets too big, we split it across companies. Any company that draws attention gets liquidated, and its capital is back-channeled into a new company. Most PFs are small-time operations anyway. And in this business, the minnows go bankrupt all the time. We've never aroused suspicion. Plus, we have Hewick.
Hewick?
Human Exploitation Company. It's a business specializing in intel gathering. Think of it as a civilian intelligence agency.
Kaz, that's...
Remember what they were trying to accomplish at the prison facility in Cuba? That gave me the idea. We dispatch moles into conflict zones around the world, and each sets up an intel network on site. Then they stay in place to give us stable points of contact when other nations intervene in the conflicts. Hewick's strength is that it has a cutout at each level. You get your job from one guy, then you hand it off to another. No one has direct access. It's a perfect black box. Hewick members also work their way into the superpowers intelligence agencies to make sure Diamond Dogs gets work. We have those countries by the balls. That's our deterrent when we need it.
Networking? In the intelligence community?
Sure, that's how we've grown this far. And when you go out on missions, intel from Hewick will be there to back you up. But despite all that, Cypher has its eyes on us. The only reason I'm not dead is that they needed to know where you were. Figured if you woke up, I'd go straight to you.
That's why you made that ruckus at the Zero line.
Yeah, to make their own surveillance work against them. I think it took some of the heat off Cyprus.
Kaz.
Then I just had to wait for you to save me. And I've gotten used to waiting.
Kaz.
That's not all. It was a good chance to scout the market. And with the West wanting the Soviets out of Afghanistan, their agencies are bursting at the seams with funding. Boss, let's start by building up our Afghan presence.
Why put Mother Base in the Seychelles?
We're at the center of the world here.
We're all the way out in the Indian Ocean.
Come on. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, East Timor, and Africa. From here, our reach extends to conflict zones the world over, including Afghanistan, of course.
So it's prime real estate for a mercenary.
Exactly. Latin America isn't as close as I'd like, but we have Amanda and her people to help in that department. And besides, the Seychelles government owes us a favor.
Owes us?
The Seychelles has strong ties to the East, which the West wanted to shake up. It came to a head 3 years ago in an attempted coup. It was a force of South African mercenaries with U.S. backing behind the scenes. They were only platoon size, but South Africa is home to some heavy PFs. Too much for the Seychelles to handle.
bring back the U.S. military's new weapon codenamed Honeybee. The CIA put it in the hands of the Hamid group of Mujahideen, but the Hamid fighters were wiped out. The Honeybee must still be hidden at their base, the fort at Dasmasi Laman. Unfortunately, the Soviets are looking for the weapon as well. You have to get to it before they do, and bring it back here. There's a photo of the target on your iDroid. One more thing. Apparently, one of the Hamid fighters survived. He's missing, but if you can find him, he might lead us to the target. Good luck, boss.
So, Kaz, the ship that took us from Cyprus, it used to be a whaler.
Yeah, a Japanese vessel. How was the voyage?
It was
Careful down there, boss.
stimulating.
Well, she was part of a whaling fleet up until a few years ago. Her displacement isn't anything to write home about, but she can really move. She still had plenty of life left in her, but then the work dried up. Global opposition to whaling has been mounting for years.
Is that right?
The push to ban it has been gaining traction for a little over a decade. Individual species came under protection as the years went on. And then 2 years ago, the IWC adopted a moratorium on commercial whaling. Several countries, including Japan, fought it to the bitter end. But eventually, most whaling companies had no choice but to throw in the towel. You ever tried whale snake?
Can't say that I have.
When I was a kid in Japan, practically everybody ate it.
That good, huh?
The country was poor in those days, and whale was cheap. International opinions changed since then. In any case, that's why we were able to get a bargain price on the ship. Of course, we did end up spending 5 times the purchase price in modifications. We had to really work to fit in all the ESM and communications gear while keeping the whaler look intact. Right now, she's going around conducting SIGINT missions. In the future, we plan to use her as a communications relay base between you and Mother Base, and also as a chopper resupply vessel. Diamond dogs. The word diamond originally comes from the Greek adamas. It means indomitable, unyielding. Other words for the stones often mean eternal bond, fortitude, or purity. The same is true of the Star of Bethlehem flowers you laid on the boss's grave. They represent innocence, as well as chastity, yielding to no man while maintaining one's virtue. In other words, staying loyal to something.
Ocelot said the number of private forces is increasing, and they modeled themselves after us.
They're a far cry from the likes of us.
But why? 9 years ago, we made enemies of the world as a nuclear-equipped force, independent of ideology or state.
Yes. Sooner or later, the real UN would have stepped in.
So why are they giving these PFs free rein?
That's our fault, too.
What do you mean?
What happened 9 years ago was a real problem for a lot of people. An organization as big as ours, with our facilities, was wiped off the map. Not an easy thing to hide. But if our existence came to light, so would the names of our clients. We had contracts all over, east and west, from superpowers to banana republics, the lot. Our clients denied all association with the likes of us. They had to make sure things
A
didn't...
Soviet relay base. Think there's something in there that could lead us to the Honeybee?
They really missed us. The demand for armies for hire was as strong as ever. The international community turned a blind eye to what happened to us, despite still needing people who could do our jobs. History couldn't afford to lose us. As soon as we were gone, they needed a replacement. So private forces spread everywhere. And they're all just a phone call away.
But still,
I know. PFs are totally different from what we envisioned. Nation-states, revolutionaries, terrorists. They have a lot of clients, and Cypher is one of them. Cypher stays anonymous, but I know their work when I see it. In the eyes of those clients, the world's PFs are all just expendable pawns. The clients don't have to worry about losing their own men. Nobody knows they're involved, and PFs are cheap. In short, the world is chewing up soldiers.
Is that prisoner the Hamid survivor?
Even so,
If he is, he has to know something about the honeybee.
for PFs. Some guys created their own smaller forces. Others were taken on by emerging PFs. Everybody's gone their separate ways. But none of them are living their dream, because they're not fighting with you. Of course, I tried to headhunt as many of them as I could for Diamond Dogs. It was all a waste of time. They said they weren't interested without you to lead them.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
It's gonna change. We'll unite all private forces under you, transcending nations and economies. What is a nation? Just a patch of dirt. The bonds among us will surpass nations. And that's what'll put the world under our control. We'll establish a new kind of country. Redefine the very concept of it. Even Cypher will be below us. An extraterritorial federation of military nations. The United States of Force. Once word of Big Boss's return starts traveling, that'll be our true deterrent against Cypher. In other words, no one will dare to come gunning for you. How do you figure? Cypher lacks a large-scale fighting force. PFs are the perfect tool for them. But those PFs revere you, the legendary Big Boss. If Cypher killed you now, they wouldn't take it lying down. Maybe they'd even go looking for revenge, but they definitely wouldn't keep doing Cypher's dirty work, even if it put their lives at stake. That's why it's no longer a benefit to Cypher to get rid of you. The very fact that you're alive, it'll buy us some time while we get back to full strength. Just keep... In practice, the PFs around the world don't know your face. Just declaring that you're Big Boss won't be enough to convince them. And if they see you as an... Some hero. That's why you
That
need...
prisoner knows he's making him take them to it.
Big Boss. Once you've proven that, they won't hesitate to join us.
КП! Я перезарядил! На нас напали враги! Подтверждаю присутствие противника! Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку. Выкурите врага. Нет связи.
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Что, парень, в чем дело?
Всем боевым группам! Это КП! Все подразделения! За боевые позиции! Повторяю! Все подразделения! За боевые позиции! КП! Это Дмитрий-3! Несем большие потери! Пошлите резерв! Прием! Это КП! Понял! Приказ всем группам! Отправить все резервы на подтверждение! Конец связи!
Нет, не делай этого!
Speak. Where are your friends?
Нет, не делай этого!
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him. A survivor. One of the Hamid. he mute? He knows about it. This is our chance. We know the location of the target. It's on your iDroid. Head on over there and retrieve it.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
to us. That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun could cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss. Boss, get down. That's an enemy gunship. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies. Retrieve the honeybee. Its location is on your iDroid. He's coming too. Roger that. That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from his machine gun cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
Where are your friends? Whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
effectively make you blind and deaf. But that goes for the enemy too. Use the situation to your advantage. That's Marseille Ford to Marseille Le Mans. Now to find the honeybee. The enemy's given up their search for you, but they're not giving the all-clear just yet. Stay alert. Their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Squad have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
You look well rested, big boss. My, how you've changed. You became a demon for such little weapons as that? Well, I'm sure you'll see the bigger picture eventually. If you get out of here alive. Rest in peace this time. I'll see you in hell, boss.
What the hell was that thing? It was huge. What's he doing to that soldier? Damn it, they're everywhere.
Those skulls are too fast. If you had a homing weapon. Boss, maybe it's time to see what the honeybee can do.
Now call the chopper to get out of there. Bring the honeybee back to base. Roger.
have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
All right, get in. Time to go.
Gaining altitude.
Mission complete. Great work. So this unit in the mist, their speed, the way they jump, it's not human. And those deformities,
They attacked the Soviets, too.
and that Grim Reaper look-alike in charge of them, that giant thing that carried him off. What the hell are they?
Cypher.
Well, what do they want? What's their objective? Why Afghanistan? There's one more thing troubling me.
What happened to the Hamid?
Exactly. Whole squads of hardened Mujahideen killed without a fight, and no trace of BC weaponry. What does it all mean?
That's what we're here to find out.
Yeah, right. If we really need to know, the truth will reveal itself. Even if it's ugly. Boss, I'm creating a new intel team to support you in our areas of operation. Members of this team will head out into the field and conduct reconnaissance. Knowing the strength of an enemy force beforehand will help you carry out missions more smoothly. We may also learn something about the skull-faced man. So boss, that brings me to assigning staff to the intel team. There might be guys already assigned to other teams who are more suited to the intel team. Go ahead and reassign them as you see fit. The dog you brought back. There'll come a day when he'll be ready to join you on missions. But you know, he gets lonely easily. You should come visit him every once in a while. Get back to Mother Base.
Halt! See that? Now that's discipline. Following orders like a real diamond dog. Soon it'll be... No! Stay! Stay! Didi! Go! No, maybe not yet. But soon. Soon.
Boss, we've had some new job offers come in. I've selected the ones I'd like you to handle and added them to the list. Take a look on your iDroid. The more missions you complete, the more we can expand Mother Base. members of the intel team are on the ground. Their reports will be reflected as predicted enemy fields of movement on your iDroid's map. The higher the team's level, the more accurate and frequent their reports will become. Be sure to take advantage of them.
I had the R&D team analyze the Honeybee. How? The CIA wanted it with everything intact. They took it apart to look at it. Then they put it back together. Everything intact. That's the R&D boys, all right. Turns out the Honeybee's homing capabilities are a cut above previous manpads. It can detect a broad range of infrared wavelengths, and even ultraviolet for supplementary guidance. Hence the name, huh? Right. Honeybees rely on UV light to fly. With this device, flares don't do the target any good. That's why the Soviets are losing so many gunships, and why the CIA was so desperate to get it back. It wasn't just about preventing the Soviets from devising countermeasures. What if the likes of Iran got their hands on it? American aircraft would be put at risk too. We can use this tech to develop our own portable missile. That'll give us a huge advantage. It'll take a little time before the analysis results can be applied to actual implementation. But we'll keep moving with the research. We were lucky to get our hands on that cyborg arm developer. There's no one in Diamond Dogs who can so much as maintain that thing.
Bionic arm, not cyborg, if you go by what he calls it. But you're right, the East is light years ahead in bionics. They can even detect through the skin the slight electrical signals from the brain that order muscles to move. The Soviet Union completed their first bionic arm capable of doing that back in the 60s. Although I guess that news didn't really reach the West.
No kidding. Zadornov's was the only one I ever saw. Quite a shock to see it for the first time.
And it was no mean feat to get hold of Snake's arm. I couldn't get one for you at the time, but you know, now...
Forget it. I've no intention of relying on bionics. Right now I need to keep the pain fresh in my mind.
Well, it's your decision. But don't you find it... inconvenient?
Not a bit. But the phantom pain, it never lets up. Do you know how many men I saw die that day? There's nothing we can do to bring them back. And you expect me to care about getting a measly arm and leg back? Sorry. But my pain belongs to all our dead comrades. I'll keep living with it for their sake. It'll guide me straight and true until I've gotten them the vengeance they deserve. Diamond Dog's intel team specializes in information gathering, mainly human and SIGINT. They plant scouts and moles in the field. These operatives will blend into the local populace and work under the guise of a resident, or disguise themselves as travelers and ask around for information. They observe targets using various hidden bugs, cameras, and transmitters, and by tapping their satellite and phone communications. Analyzing all this information creates a clear picture of how wars and the PFs fighting them are changing. This data can also be used for threat assessment when deciding whether to accept contracts from certain clients. And during missions, the intel team keeps track of target locations and produces FOM predictions, reporting mission-critical information based on real-time remote observation of changes in the AO. What you hear from us over the radio is based on how we interpret the data gathered at the command platform. However, intel team operatives go unarmed in almost all situations to avoid revealing themselves to the enemy. Some will carry a knife, but most have nothing at all. As such, don't expect them to help you take on heavily armed adversaries like PF soldiers. Think of them as entirely passive in the hot zone. Plus, they use all manner of techniques to remain inconspicuous in the field. If you ever spot one, you'll have some serious explaining to do. So remember, their specialty is espionage. They may not be of use in a firefight, but when it comes to intel, they're pros.